The new normal uniform has a lot of us searching our closets and drawers for men's essentials that aren't there. Instead of the usual business casual button-ups and jeans, it's soft-knit polos, tees, joggers, and active shorts. Whatever men's basics you need, Mack Weldon has you covered. For me, it's about comfort. I look good, I feel good, I love it. Mack Weldon promises comfort and a consistent fit from socks, shirts, and hoodies to underwear, polos, or active shorts. From working out, going to work, or on a date, Mack Weldon is for everyday life. Mack Weldon's wide range of customized fabrics can keep up with you no matter what your day looks like. And with Weldon Blue, their totally free loyalty program, you get free shipping for life. Mack Weldon wants you to be comfortable, so if you don't like your first pair of underwear, you can keep them and they'll still refund you. No questions asked. For 20% off your first order, visit MackWeldon.com/peasants and enter promo code peasants. That's PEASANTS. That's MackWeldon.com/peasants, promo code peasants for 20% off. Mack Weldon, reinventing men's basics.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true.
Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. It is episode 840, which is pretty cool. 840. That means we're 60 episodes away from episode 900, and they go quick with 3 a week.
And I don't know how it is now, but when I was growing up, an eighth was $40.
Of course, you mean like an eighth of
Marijuana.
graham crackers.
Well, when I was a kid, graham crackers is what I love.
Yeah. So we have Hannibal here. Monty's not here again.
Yet. He definitely said he's on the way.
Okay. I'm definitely maybe on the way. So guys, YouTube apparently didn't notify a lot of people that we're live, and that's very apparent. If you could like the stream, if you can go to Twitter, if you have a Twitter, and like and retweet the tweet that I put out, or if you have a Facebook and you use it, do it there. Also, join the Discord, because we always alert everybody when we're streaming live.
I'm sharing it on Facebook right now, as well as Instagram and the Twitter. Does anybody use what's the other one? What's the
Parler?
other one?
So
no, not Reddit. Blogger, Tumblr. There we go.
Tumblr.
I'll post it on my Tumblr as well.
So Monty. Okay, so. Originally, Monty would only fall asleep on the episodes, but recently he's been falling asleep before the episodes, so that's why he can't be here this time.
Mr. Sandman.
His schedule
Bring me
keeps
a
getting
drink.
pushed further and further back.
It's hilarious. Oh, just FYI, BENPAI, I can't see the screen.
Oh shit, my bad.
No, you're good. I was looking. I didn't want to interrupt the flow. I'm saying,
My bad.
Monty's sleep schedule is getting pushed back like people's hairlines.
Yeah. It's awful when that happens to you also. Like,
The older we get, the colder it gets.
yeah.
I've been watching Twin Peaks this last couple of days.
Have you never watched it before?
I've never watched it before.
It's cool because when you get all the way through it, then there's a movie after it, and then there's the modern version of it that came out a couple years ago. And it's cool because you live around it. So now when you go and visit, what is it, North Bend?
Yeah.
It'll take on a whole new meaning for you.
I've already been there, so I'm watching it. I'm like, I've been there. And then there's like murders.
I never saw any women floating in the ponds.
Oh, I did.
Oh.
I didn't put them
They
there.
were heavy.
I didn't put them there.
So I'm just going to ask all of you that if you use the Brave browser, send us your bats. And if you haven't subscribed to the audio version of this podcast, you should, because it helps us out a lot. And, you always have your phone with you. You can, lock your screen while you listen to it in the background or whatever. So check us out there. We're going to move into the action news. I was actually watching the impeachment arguments that they were making today.
Was it good stuff?
I mean, it's interesting, but not exactly exciting,
Did one of the Republican representatives invoke the devil?
No, and actually, it's not Republican and representatives. It's like Trump has defense lawyers, and then it's the people in the Senate, the Democrats in the Senate, that are laying out the case against him. We'll get into that. The thing that I noticed about it is that Trump's lawyers aren't arguing that they're not even defending like the insurrection and that kind of stuff. They're hardly mentioning that at all. They're arguing that you can't have an impeachment trial after someone's out of office. That's really all they have. But
really, so they're not trying to say like I figured part of the defense would be he said that he wanted it to be peaceful, and they became riotous.
I mean,
is that
he didn't tell them that, though. He said only weak people are going to lose this, and you got to be strong right now and not weak. He had a rally where he basically said, go down there, show them that you're not going to let this happen. He all but basically gave them marching orders.
Well, he did say peaceful. He made sure to say peaceful. He made sure to add that in there. And I think if I was the lawyers, I would focus on, he said peaceful. We don't care if Giuliani said trial by combat. We don't care if Ted Cruz was the Zodiac. Like,
they did make the First Amendment argument, but the thing is, that's easy to argue. If you're saying he incited this, incitement isn't covered by the First Amendment.
Right.
So yeah. Here's the intro.
He called me, sir, and got me so fuming angry.
People are discriminating against wolves.
Wow. They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
Chewbacca defense. That's my best Chewbacca. When I yawn, sometimes I sound like Chewbacca, though.
Whenever I have sexual relations with a lady, and
I like how you put that.
Yeah, and then when I get to where I'm going, I sound like Chewbacca. I'm doing PG-13 Hannibal.
We'd also
tonight.
accept Make Whoopee. I'd like to bring that back. That was the 1970s game show way of saying.
Yeah, when I've made Whoopi in some girl's throat before, she sounded like Chewbacca.
Oh shit! This is the wrong thing. I'll get to this in a second.
Oh no!
Actually, you know what? No, we'll watch this. So, as a lot of you know, because of COVID, a lot of trials have been delayed, and they're having a lot of court sessions on Zoom calls now. Well, what happened here is this lawyer, Rod Ponton, accidentally turned on the kitten filter on Zoom and can't figure out how to turn it off. Watch its eyes when it realizes, like, oh no.
Am I going to get the cute giggles? I think I'm going to get the cute giggles.
I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to
we're trying to. Can you hear me, Judge?
Could he be any more of a pussycat?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to. But...
This is why our pets can never talk. This would scare me if this was my actual pet and it started talking like this. Well, I'm sorry.
If your pet started talking in a deep Southern accent,
I bet it's some old guy too.
King God. Sure. Cheers.
Cheers.
Kicking off the donos for this week. Thank you.
With it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
Yeah.
I'm not a cat.
I'm a human, y'all. I'm not a cat. I'm
here live. I'm not a cat.
The guy in the upper right is starting to laugh.
Yeah.
That. I think if you click the up arrow next to the.
Yeah. So I found that very amusing today.
Been a minute since I've watched. How's it going, Hannibal?
A minute?
What's the haps with Tucker and Athens, Georgia? I know little about them. Maybe going there for possible work. Also, Guy is great to listen to, but fuck, I can't keep up with the dancing.
With the dancing?
The dancing? Do we dance?
Do we dance?
I don't remember dancing.
Who's Guy?
I don't know if we've ever danced.
I've danced a little bit from time to time, depending on what's going on the show.
Yeah, I do a little dancing.
If I'm feeling pretty groovy, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially if I know there's some good weed waiting for me afterwards. I'm like, wait, can I say it? Because
yeah, you know what? Let's not talk about what we can or can't say too much. Here's Oh shit. Okay. So here's some excerpts that I got, a few minute snippets of the impeachment trial.
Senators, Mr. President, to close, I want to say something personal.
Is this Seinfeld?
About the stakes of this decision, whether President Trump.
Why do they call it impeachment? Are you feeding him a peach?
Can stand trial and be held
What is the deal with that?
to account for inciting insurrection against us.
Inciting
This trial is personal indeed for every senator, for every member of the House, every manager, all of our staff, the Capitol Police, the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police, the National Guard, maintenance and custodial crews, the print journalists and TV people who were here, and all of our families and friends. And I hope this trial reminds America how personal democracy is.
I mean, they mainly just want this for the record because there's so many Republicans that won't vote guilty. There's not going to be anything coming of it, but they just kind of want
Ben
it
is
out
a lazy
there.
fuck who doesn't straw man people because he's too busy doing movie reviews.
We do love our movie reviews around here.
That's hilarious.
Cheers.
Yeah, I mean, but they did make a point today that I was like, yeah, they're right. If they're like, if this isn't impeachable, then what is? Like, I don't know.
Then what is?
If you can't impeach someone because they incited a crowd of people to run to the Capitol, I mean, what is?
The very special people.
And how personal is the loss of democracy, too.
And by the way, there's multiple. There hasn't been one for a president, but there's been multiple public officials who have been impeached after they left office. And it's a safeguard just in case someone resigns. They can resign before their trial ends if it looks bad. You know, they have it gives them like immunity.
If they have proof that Trump held back the National Guard,
oh man,
then
that'd be a different
then
charge.
this is a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know if they have that.
There was
Well,
one.
I mean,
that-
they have the
Hannibal
footage
to answer
of
what's
Donald.
going on with Tucker and Athens, Georgia. I just want someone on the ground who knows the most. Also, I'd if y'all were joking, but Guy is a music group. They dance a lot, lol. Especially since it's New Jack Swing low.
I don't.
I wouldn't impeach a car. I would if I could.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Tucker and Athens are interesting.
A
places.
car?
Athens is where UGA is. It's I mean, it's a college town. Tucker is Tucker. I mean, it's fine. You're not gonna get shot and murdered there or nothing like that. It's cool.
Athens, Ohio is a college town too. Ohio University.
Yeah, that's what you just said.
Oh,
right?
that's
Athens
what.
was
Okay.
No, he means
Cool.
Athens, Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I meant the
Oh,
other
Athens, Ohio?
Yeah. There's an Athens. For some reason, Georgia and Ohio have a lot of towns with the same names.
I wonder if Athens,
Columbus.
isn't that Greece? Isn't that
Yeah.
Greek?
Yep.
So you think that's why it's a college town because of like Greek?
I don't know when the town
Greek
was named.
row and stuff.
I mean, the
Like-
towns could have gotten
that
their
makes
names
sense.
for
Yeah,
different.
because then
lazy
the
fuck
correlation
Ben.
between the Greeks
Strem
and the
move.
college. Yeah.
PLS.
Locust God.
Thank you.
Ben is very lazy, but we did stream the movie. It happened.
Yeah.
It happened. Okay. Please. And for those of you that want us to talk more about Athens and Tucker, Georgia, $20 donations or above. We're not talking about Athens or Tucker,
Yeah,
Georgia
I mean,
for less than $20.
I would probably have to look into how each town got their name and the origin behind that and when the universities were created, because I don't know the backstory of all that. But yeah, Athens, Greece. So the towns were probably named after Athens, Greece, and Athens, Greece is named after the goddess Athena.
Athena, yeah.
Yeah.
Distinguished members of the Senate, my youngest daughter Tabitha was
if
there.
I rob a bank and flee the scene, they can't arrest me because I'm not at the bank anymore. Right?
Exactly,
Right?
exactly.
Yes, especially if you have no ammo as evidence, 2 guns.
I'm skipping this guy too. Like, I was gonna play it, but he tells the story. Like, he's like, "Yeah, I was at the Capitol and it sucked, and I was afraid." Here's Trump's lawyers. These guys are. This is Trump's first lawyer.
Did he shrink a little bit, or was that suit always that big on him?
This suit is big on him.
It looks like he's hiding a smaller guy underneath the suit, and they walked in on each other's shoulders.
You know, it's kind of funny because some of the Democrats that are building the case against Trump used a statement this guy made against him about a different time they tried to impeach someone after they left office and how it was justified then. It was kind of funny.
Struck. I thought the House managers who spoke earlier were brilliant speakers. And I made some notes, and they'll hear about what I think about some of the things they said later.
The only reason a man wears a suit this loose is because he goes to the buffet and walks out with a bunch of rolls underneath it. He's a roll thief. I don't like it.
When I'm closing the case,
Trump wears a loose suit too. I think
He's
that might
stealing rolls too.
I think in the 80s that was the style to have an oversized suit.
but I thought they were brilliant speakers, and I loved listening to them. And they were smart fellows. But why are the House managers afraid, and why is the majority of the House of Representatives afraid of the American people? I mean,
what? The which American people are we talking about? Are we talking about the ones that broke into the Capitol building and did an insurrection?
You know what he's doing? He's saying, like, the voters get to decide if a president doesn't deserve to come back. You just want to, like, legislate and punish Donald Trump so he can't run again. Like, you don't trust the voters to make the right decision. They elected you, didn't they? That's basically what he says here.
Let's understand why we are really here. We are really here.
This was part of their argument, too, that, like, we're only really here. This is a political stunt, and you guys just want to get rid of Trump because, you know, he might beat you if he runs again. That's basically a summary of what they're saying.
The majority in the House of Representatives does not want to face Donald Trump as a political rival in the future. That's the real reason we're here. And that's why they have to get over the jurisdictional hurdle, which they can't get over. But
so this argument is it within their jurisdiction? Can they impeach someone who's no longer in office? So this was the argument, and I'll get to the vote in a moment here.
That's why they have to get over that in order to get to the part of the Constitution that allows removal. So that's nobody says it that plainly, but unfortunately I have a way of speaking that.
I mean, it says a lot that the lawyers that represented Trump last time aren't taking the case this time.
And the reason that I am having trouble with the argument is the American people just spoke, and they just changed administrations. So in the light most favorable to my colleagues on the other side of the aisle here, their system works.
But Trump said it didn't work and had a huge amount of the population fooled into thinking it didn't work, and the craziest ones went and did something about it.
And still want to do something about it, by the way.
Yeah.
There still are people out there planning their resurrection of the insurrection.
Well, I mean, they have to, these people, the people in the Senate have to walk through a fence now with way more security than before, so they all they understand. They'll pretend not to understand. They'll vote within their party lines. But, I mean, you can't deny it at this point.
How many senators do they need to be able to
17?
to actually?
They need
was it
17
60?
Republican ones to make it 66 over 60s to over 2/3.
17 Republicans and all of the Democrats have to vote guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I had it reversed. 17 Republicans and all of the Democrats.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they might be able to get that if we actually have some solid evidence that Trump maybe told the National Guard not to go in, held them back from going in.
Do you think that would be enough for 17 Republican senators to vote to impeach Donald Trump? If they had him like a phone call where he says, "Hey, don't send in the National Guard, okay? Let's let this play out." Do you think that 17 Republican senators would still vote? Would vote for his impeachment? I don't think they would.
Yeah, I agree, and the reason why is because a lot of these senators come from states that voted for Trump overwhelmingly, and they don't want to make those people mad as well as Trump, who will tell his followers not to vote for them in their reelection. So that's why people still kiss the ring. A lot of these people are smart enough to realize how bad this looks, but they don't want to lose their cushy political career where they make all this money and have all this power. So,
but they also want people to believe the political system works so they can continue to have that power. And Trump's entire push was that it was rigged and didn't work.
Right. So these new Republicans don't want you to believe that. This attorney is arguing that it does.
They voted today for a trial.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Are smart enough in the light most favorable to them. They're smart enough to pick a new administration if they don't like the old one. And they just did. And he's down there, Pennsylvania Avenue now, probably wondering how come none of my stuff is happening up at the Capitol.
I think a decent amount of stuff is still happening. I think Biden said he wouldn't get it too involved, but go ahead, knock yourself out.
I'm wondering.
This is Trump's other lawyer. What were you about to say?
Wondering why all these bills I'm writing into place aren't going through. Could it be they're trying to stick it to poor Donnie Trump? Leave that man alone. The people already voted him out. Y'all don't need to waste your time on him. What he did was just freedom of speech.
I think Congress is too busy I think Congress is too busy strawmanning people on YouTube to pass laws and do movie.
Congress is so lazy.
Yeah. Here's Trump's other lawyer.
The joy I believed I would feel if I ever had the great privilege of appearing.
This guy almost cries at one point.
Oh, yeah?
He gets emotional.
Before this body is replaced by sadness and pain.
Hair at this point? Why not just go completely Stone Cold Steve Austin with it?
Well, the first guy we talked to had, I think, the worst hair.
He had a flesh-colored yarmulke.
And at least this guy's got, like, his hair is more like the color of his skin, so it kind of blends in with the baldness.
Yeah. When you're a white guy, but you have dark hair and you're balding, then it does show more than if you had, like, blonde hair or something like that.
My overriding emotion is frankly wanting to cry for what I believe these proceedings will do to our great, so long enduring, sacred Constitution and to the American people on both sides of the great divide that now characterizes our nation. Esteemed members of the Senate, going forward with this impeachment trial.
I'm pretty sure this guy brought out, like, the Constitution and brought out, it was a red book. I didn't hear what he said it was. I don't know if it was the Communist Manifesto or, like, Mao Zedong's communist book that he had. It was a little red book, and he was, like, comparing them at one point. So they were like, yeah, see, we handle things this way here, not this way. We don't punish our political rivals. But it's the worst punishment that he's going to face is not being able to run for president again. That's the worst thing.
Will he have his presidential
no, I don't.
Things taken away, like his rights?
I don't think so.
As a president?
I don't think so.
Former president of the United States is unconstitutional.
I don't know.
For reasons we have set out in our brief, some of which we'll focus on here. And as a matter of policy, it is wrong, as wrong can be.
Because the Constitution says that impeachment is removal from office and being barred from further office. And that's all it says. So I don't know what technically that all entails.
For all of
I
us
think
as a
they
nation.
add certain things into the impeachment as part of the proceedings
I think
and charges.
I don't think they're adding anything else. I think there's only two possible results because they argued that like 100 times. Both of them said it. It's only two. They kept arguing over the language, though. Is it removal from office and being barred, or is it either or? Like you could get one without the other, and that's the whole argument. Whether it's and, like you can only have this with this, or does it stand alone?
We are told by those who favor having these proceedings that we have to do it for accountability. But anyone truly interested in real accountability for what happened at the Capitol on January 6th, would of course insist on waiting for a full investigation to be completed.
Yeah, I don't have the crime part. It was pretty long. He spoke for like an hour. Here's a little more.
He accidentally said July 6th.
Yeah, I heard that. Yep.
July 6th is Independence Day after, like, first day back to work after Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
You always got to go back drunk and hungover from 2 days before. Firework burns on your face, ass, and hands. It's bad.
In this unprecedented snap impeachment process, the House of Representatives denied every attribute of fundamental constitutional due process that Americans correctly have come to believe is part of what makes this country so great. How and why did that happen? It is a function of the insatiable lust for impeachment in the House for the past.
All right, so I just looked it up here. Judgment in cases of impeachment shall not extend further to removal of office and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States. But the party convicted shall nevertheless be liable and subject to indictment, trial, judgment, and punishment according to law.
So trust or profit.
They all rolled into one.
Yeah, trust or profit, would that not be like trust as in like getting the presidential?
No. This is...
And what about profit?
No.
Like you're not going to get...
They're talking about holding an office of honor.
Enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit.
Right. An office of honor or trust or profit. So an office of that under the United States. They're still going to protect him. They're not going to like leave him to the wolves. He's still going to get the same presidential protections. He has to revoke that. Richard Nixon resigned in lieu of impeachment. He still had it. I mean, he still had it. He still got security briefings. He still got invited to the White House and all that kind of stuff. Like when new presidents would get sworn in. So as far as I know, and I listened to constitutional scholars argue this for over an hour today while I was doing my run, this is the worst thing that can happen to him as a result of this. Just like he can't run again.
He can't enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Donald Trump.
Yep.
4 years. Consider this.
Interesting.
I want to say this for Donald Trump, who I may well be voting to impeach.
Donald Trump has already done a number of things.
Oh yeah, they play this video. This is like the liberal media is after Trump, and all of these senators and congressmen just wanted to get rid of Trump from like day one. They were out to get him,
which legitimately raised the question of impeachment.
I don't respect this president.
They had the ominous music in as part of the trial.
Yeah, it was there
every day until he is impeached.
The people on the prosecution side just showed like quotes that people said, like quotes the president said, quotes of like constitutional law scholars like talking about times when other people had been impeached after they left office.
That is grounds to start impeachment proceedings.
They had propaganda.
Those are grounds to start impeachment. Those are grounds to start impeachment proceedings. Yes, I think that's grounds to start impeachment proceedings.
I rise today, Mr. Speaker, to call for the impeachment of the president.
I wonder if he ran to the bathroom during this time, because it's a pretty long video. Yeah, look, Ocasio-Cortez, blah, 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 blah.
Chicken Little.
Oh, my God. All right. I want to see what he says at the end.
The relevant timeline in the House reveals the rush to judgment.
That was his point. Yeah. Here's them voting.
On this vote, the ayes are 56, the nays are 44, and pursuant to S. 47, the Senate having...
So there's 6 Republicans voting yes. They were so this at least means that they think it should go to trial. So there's 44 Republicans that are like, this shouldn't even be heard right now. Like, we should end it now. We shouldn't even hear the evidence.
I don't think there's any information that you can give those people that would make them vote against Trump. Because, I mean, just like, look, especially if these are career politicians who are like, I'm going to run for office again. And like, I saw, it was either the New Yorker or New York Times had sent a reporter to Wyoming to the Matt Gaetz rally that he did against Liz Cheney. And she was like, and the reporter for New York Times and New Yorker was just like, yeah, just based on the people that I've talked to since I've been here, is there are no people here that are they've been like very staunch, like they're very upset with Liz Cheney for what they feel like is going against Trump.
Oh yeah.
And like he was just, like went to like a bar, went to like a gun store, went to like all these different places. It was like as soon as you bring up her name, people just walk up just so they can start talking terribly about her.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Bojack in the pleb chat says, for those wondering if it's worth impeaching him this time, it means he 1, loses his $2,000 pension for the rest of his life, and 2, loses his $1 million a year travel allowance.
Okay. So he doesn't, and there is profit from that, I would say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. That should be taken away. I think he should still be protected by the Secret Service and stuff like that.
I don't know.
I mean,
I think he should be forced onto like a reality show.
He's already done that.
But like not hosting. I want him to be like on the other end of Survivor and like drop him off.
He should be on Naked and Afraid.
Yes.
No, put him on American Ninja Warrior. That's what I want to see.
Can we like compromise on like Celebrity Wipeout or something like that?
I mean, even if you put him on one of those cooking shows, like Nailed It.
I would love to see Gordon Ramsay chew him out.
Yes. And if he loses, I don't know, capital punishment or something. What's the proper punishment? If he wins, he's welcome back into the world.
Look, I got it. Okay. Melania divorces him. Okay. ABC presents Donald Trump's The Bachelor. I would watch the crap out of that.
It would be fun.
This is not as easy as I thought it would be.
It would be fun. Or Melania doesn't divorce him and we bring back Cheaters.
The House Democrats.
Cheaters isn't gone. It's still on.
Cheaters is still a thing?
Yeah, look, and Peter Guns is hosting it now. It's so random.
I don't know who that is.
Peter Guns, Lord Tariq and Peter Guns.
No way, really?
Uptown, crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know that. That's ridiculous.
Peter Guns is the host of Cheaters now. He caught some dude the other day, and a guy
I'm taking back control, Hannibal.
That's amazing.
I'm taking back control.
That's really interesting. I really enjoyed that factoid. I hope the viewers at home did too. Now we're gonna go watch some videos.
So you mean to tell me you wouldn't want to see Donald Trump on Cheaters, BENPAI?
I don't know. I don't like reality shows, and I don't like Donald Trump, so no. So I guess we are getting $1,400 checks, though.
Oh.
Unless you have a household income of more than $200,000, which is good. Because at first they were like, oh, it has to be like, I think they said like $50,000, which isn't
$50,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Are you sure? I thought it was $75,000 for a single and $150,000 for a married couple.
Originally, they were
especially for people that live in, like, if you live in the higher income cities like your Seattle, San Francisco's, LA's, New York's, where like $50,000 there isn't what $50,000 is. Like $50,000 in Seattle is not $50,000 in Alabama.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a very different thing. So yeah, I'm glad they set they set it higher.
People were people on the right were lowballing it, trying to get it to somewhere around like $50K a person, and then it was like negotiated back and forth. But I think they're just going to do it $200,000.
Well, in a historic first, the Senate begins in just a few hours former President Donald Trump's second impeachment trial. On the other side of the Capitol, though, the House continues the ongoing back and forth on President Biden's stimulus plan. Bloomberg congressional reporter Eric Wasson joins us now with everything we need to know out of Washington today. Eric, thanks so much for being here. There's a lot going on. Let's start with the stimulus package. Democrats are not budging on the $1,400 checks, but they did cut off relief at $200,000 for household incomes. How are Republicans responding today?
Well, it's interesting. There was a push by 10 moderate Senate Republicans to lower the threshold and lower the amounts. They wanted a $1,000 payment that would completely phase out by $50,000 of individual income.
So they wanted to only be $1,000, and if you made over $50,000 as an individual, you wouldn't even get that.
That's
fair,
crazy.
though.
That's fair. Because you're making almost $1,000 a week, okay? Like, why would you need more money?
Before taxes.
Why would you need one more week's worth of paycheck? You've been living without that for 9 months now? You don't need one more week's worth of paychecks, you poor loser. Go to work. Stay at home and cough. We don't need to give you 1 week's worth of pay having been sitting at home for 9 months. Gosh.
Or $100,000 of joint income. And the Democrats and the Biden administration are just saying no. When they campaigned in Georgia for those two crucial Senate seats, they said it would be a $2,000 check, including the $600 from the December stimulus bill. So they cannot.
And why is it so hard to make this happen only once? Like, this should be happening at least quarterly, if not every month.
Well, in many other countries, it does happen once a month. There is a stimulus, COVID stimulus once a month. In many other first world nations, the problem is in America, we are not actually the people in America. We're the product.
Right.
And we're the cattle, and all the rich people, they're making tons of money. And look, if their cattle started dying in the ranch, if the cattle started just keeling over in the ranch, they'd do something about it because they're losing money. But they saw we were all able to sit at home, twiddle our thumbs, and suffer. So suffering is profit. Continue suffering. We'll give them the bare minimum of chicken feed, make them feel like they got something in their stomach, then we'll kick them in the ass and make steaks.
Compromise on the amount. Now, there was a discussion among Democrats to...
This is why I knew I wanted to move to Canada forever ago, because they've at least got it there.
Lower the initial phasing out from $75,000 to $50,000 and then have it phase out from there, and they decided not to do that. So people making $75,000, $150,000 couple would get the full $1,400. But yes, it would completely phase out of $200,000 per couple. There was a worry that, at least among moderates, that if you had multiple children and dependents, under the old formula, you could be making $300,000 or $400,000 and still get some relief, and this hard stop would prevent that. Now, Republicans, they're just not going along with this plan at all.
I mean, if you're still at this point making $200,000 a year, I think you're in pretty good shape.
What's the benefit for Republicans not wanting to give people that money? $1,400 is not a lot of money.
Because their stance is always be stingy with social programs. That's where they are with that. I mean, for years they wanted to get rid of Social Security and make it privatized so that their buddies could, charge interest and loan out that the Social Security fund that has been building up. George Bush really pushed that for a little while. So they're against any form of social safety net or anything. What was Yang's thing? UBI. Yeah.
I think everybody in America should be get a no questions asked $5,000 loan. And when you pay back that $5,000 loan, you're eligible for a no questions asked $20,000 loan. And when you pay that back, you're eligible for a no questions asked $100,000 loan. And then when you pay back that back, you're eligible for a no questions asked $1 million
and
loan.
what's the interest rate on these loans?
No interest.
Well, that's not a loan then, is it?
It's our people.
Okay.
It's in the interest of the people.
Oh, here's the World Health Organization did an investigation, and they're saying it's most likely that COVID-19 came from animals and not in a lab like some people suspect. And I will admit, it's so contagious and deadly and fast mutating that it did kind of seem like it was made in a lab as a super virus, but let's hear what they have to say.
A World Health Organization expert said this morning the coronavirus is unlikely to have leaked from a Chinese lab and most likely jumped to humans via another species. The team of experts seen here investigated the possible origins of the coronavirus in the central Chinese city of Wuhan, where the first cases were discovered in December of 2019. Since then, as we know, more than 106 million cases have been.
Every time I hear Wuhan, I think of Busta Rhymes.
Wuhan, keep you all in check.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get shut down in the Czech Republic. When you get, we can't go outside, guys. We got Wuhan here in the Czech Republic. That's what the song was about.
In 192 countries, according to Johns Hopkins, over 2,300,000 have died.
Well, that's cheerful.
It is.
So, I mean, but at this juncture, like, I feel like multiple scientists have quantified that it came from the Chinese, the Wuhan wet markets in China. So, like, why are we still investigating this? Is it not, like, I feel like dozens, if not hundreds of scientists have quantified that information already.
Well, I think that the thing with science is that you continue studying until you find, like, concrete evidence. You don't just stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the quantification that it was in a wet market and it probably was a pangolin or a penguin or a bat or one of the members of KISS. I don't know exactly where it came from. But you do have to continue looking until you can find a concrete proof. And the world would want to know for sure, you know.
Yeah, I definitely would want to know that Gene Simmons didn't have anything to do with this.
I tell you, you can't go around kissing people after this. So
here's here's a former QAnon follower who recently got like therapy.
Oh God!
And came out of it.
This is going to be interesting.
And I guess she was in a viral video last year where she was in the middle, like in the deepest part of her QAnon.
Yeah.
And she actually got in trouble for like going to a Target and like throwing all the products all around everywhere. So this is interesting.
An Arizona woman says last year she became brainwashed by QAnon's conspiracy theories, which led to this scene she made in Target at a display of face masks.
I've been looking forward to this all my life. So, Target, I'm not playing anymore.
Does Victoria's Secret sell face masks?
I have no idea.
That video went viral, and her long fall down the QAnon rabbit hole nearly cost her her marriage and her career. Joining us now is that woman, Melissa Ryan Lively. Melissa, what a story.
Melissa.
Oh, my gosh. Good to see you.
Pause it for 1 second, Ben.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Okay, don't lie. She's hotter than you expected her to be.
I mean, you never know, because one, it was admitted she was crazy.
Yeah,
and
the
like
video,
10%
she
always
looks
hot.
She looks way better here than in the video where she's freaking out. She looks like out of her mind in that video.
So what was happening in that video that we were seeing where you were destroying that rack of face masks? What were you trying to accomplish?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. You know, I had really lost all touch with reality. It was the worst day of my life. I was having a complete mental break. And really what had happened was I had fallen down the QAnon rabbit hole and fell hard, you know, and just lost it. I was completely triggered.
I wish a woman would fall hard for me like they fall down the QAnon rabbit hole. I think she's a crisis actor.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, do you buy this? Do you buy this act right now? Like I mean, does this feel genuine to you? Does this feel genuine? Is anybody watching this is like, oh yeah, she's not. She's definitely not.
It is genuine because there was real consequences she faced for doing that and putting it out there. but she is pushing a book. She wrote a book. So
she's got this influencer air to her right now, and I'm like,
she's selling a book.
Whoever brainwashed her into a great influencer.
Into a book deal.
Yes.
Simon and Schuster.
You then went home. You were still irrational, so much so that your husband called the police. We have some video of that too. You were just spouting crazy theories when the police showed up. You were clearly in distress, and they ended up having to take you in. I mean, for a mental evaluation, and I believe to a mental hospital. And so how did this happen, Melissa, that you fell so far down the conspiracy rabbit hole?
I'm going to go back in time and be QAnon as well. I'm going to take one of my IRL freakout videos and say it was from a QAnon situation so I can sell my own book. But it's not going to be a regular book. It's going to be a cookbook, Barbecuanon. And
Barbecuanon.
Oh, it's going to be delicious, dude. Barbecuanon is about to be the big deal in post-traumatic.
Is there going to be a spicy Barbecuanon sauce?
I was going to focus on sweet, but
you got to have spicy, sweet, and original. Oh, and a tangy if you want that too. Like barbecue. I like the barbecue joints that have a variety of different tasting barbecue sauces. I usually like spicy, tangy, and sweet. And I have like a little bit of each one.
Yeah, there could be spicy.
Okay.
I got to sell this book, so I want to please everybody.
You know, I really became all consumed in the QAnon conspiracy theories because of a mix of fear, anxiety, depression, uncertainty, inconsistency with the information coming out about the pandemic. I felt terrified. I was losing my business. I was watching people around me lose their business. I felt hopeless. I didn't know what to do. So I went to the internet. It started innocently.
Okay, I got to pause again.
Yeah.
Who's going to play her in the movie about her book? That
You think the book's going to take off?
Oh, even if it doesn't get a big budget, it might make it to life. It's going to make it to at least Lifetime movie, right? QAnon took my family.
Yep.
QAnon kidnapped my daughter.
Everyone like the stream, please. Please like the stream. There's a bunch of you here that didn't like it earlier. We need to get it up. Please like the stream. Be like Viagra for us.
Yes, pop a couple blue pills on that like button, papa.
Enough, kind of poking around on spirituality and wellness and new age pages that, are just things that I'm interested in anyway. And then, as soon as the algorithm hooked me in, it really only took a matter of weeks.
It's the algorithm's fault.
The algorithm hooked me in. Now I'm doing QAnon again.
Until I was in this terrifying echo chamber.
Which algorithm? Does she mean Instagram or?
That
it was her
really,
Tumblr account.
Oh, Tumblr.
Completely changed the way that I think and the way that I processed information. And what people saw happen in my garage that day, I mean, truly with my husband, who's my absolute best friend, is an ultimate act of love and selfless service for another person, because he had to make a very difficult choice that day, to save my life. He had given me an ultimatum, it's this family, or QAnon. And because I had become so obsessed with it, the Save the Children messaging spoke so deeply to who I am as a person. And
God, I can't believe people fall for that so easily.
Oh, why? Why not? Why not? People are easily duped.
I know.
People are terribly stupid, and their heartstrings are being pulled at all the time. That's why you donate money to those kids that are starving, and for 40 cents a day you can save their life when they barely ever see that. That a small percentage of that money you send goes to the actual kids. The picture of that little child you get in that little envelope every month that says she grew up a little bit. 14,000 other people get that same picture. Their 40 cents a day gave that one girl some pants after 4 years. Somebody is scamming your emotions, and QAnon just did that to another level. And I'm pretty sure if you dig deeper into the QAnon situation, it was basically like a Marvel Cinematic Universe to make Donald Trump actually a do-something human being. It literally was like this gigantic fairy tale about Donald Trump not being a lazy POS. For those of you who don't know what POS stands for, you can Google it.
And I just couldn't put it aside. It ruined me, and it really had a significant impact on my mental health.
And as you say, I mean, your husband tried everything to pull you out, calling the police, as we see there in that video of you in your garage. That was one of his, that was just one of the things that he tried. I mean, he really tried to pull you out. And as you say, the algorithm hooked you in. And so you got into this kind of pattern of doom scrolling and fear scrolling.
Doom scrolling.
I've never heard of that before.
Doom scrolling. I was doom scrolling.
How did you break the spell?
Yeah, it's like 4 a.m. when you wake up and you're trying to enjoy a pleasurable night on the P-Hub. You're over there on the P-Hub and you're scrolling, you're doom scrolling down the P-Hub, and you get past all the regular stuff, and before long, there's clamps and cramps and somebody with a live urchin flying out of them. It's my favorite thing.
Well, I had to make, a very serious decision for my health and my family, and that, was voluntarily, seeking mental health treatment. I went and I did a PTSD and trauma program, which was really ultimately what I was dealing with, and I was exacerbating the situation and some previous trauma and emotional stuff that, I had failed to deal with in my life. And I had to make the conscious choice to go and get help for that, and I invested myself into that program. I continue to go to therapy and slowly but surely, work to rebuild my life back. And I wrote a book.
It, Ben? Oh, Ben walked away.
Yeah.
So what does QAnon therapy look like? What does that process entail? They show you two stories, one's real and quantifiable, and then one's fake, and then you have to just tell. Is that all it is? Is it just yes or no?
I've heard a big part of QAnon therapy is, one, you get your publicist to talk to the CIA and have them write a book all about how to survive a life after QAnon, and then you get a makeover, and then you go out on all the television circuits, CNN, all the media-driven television circuits, and you tell people that this book is going to help you realize that you've been brainwashed, so then they can sell the book to you and then also sell a new level of therapy, because this is all a false flag. This is a crisis actor. Or maybe not. I don't know. Don't you forget about me. What's up, Matthew? How you doing? Good to see you.
Matthew!
But I mean, it's going to be, it's going to obviously really entail trying to bring you back into reality, the delusions you're seeing. The fact that you're not in a position to save the world, and if you were, you're going about it terribly wrong. Everybody in QAnon has this dire need to save the world, this urgency. And I think a lot of it is, the same type of people who are doom preppers, the same type of people who were ready for the end of the world to come, and they're always promised that, 2012.
Which time? Okay,
2012 was the end of the Mayan calendar, or 1999 was the KY jelly or Y2K or whatever it was, and it's got to stop. The world's going to end. And before that and after that, there's been so many. There's a comet coming towards Earth, and it's just about to miss us. All people fall for this all the time, and there is some sort of value in it for duping people and inherently driving their doomsday urges. So now that they're fitting this QAnon theory, they're saving the children. It's now or never. Donald Trump is your hero. He's actually Batman. He's Bruce Wayne as president, but at night he's Batman, and he's draining the swamp. You're like draining the swamp full of children and their bones because Hillary Clinton had a buffet for adrenochrome. It's time. We got to drain it. We got to, and they hop on board. So I think you kind of have to paint the picture here to these people very carefully that they're being sold on an effective charge that has no reality to it. You have to show them where the reality lies. You have to show them, answer their questions with bits of reality, because everybody has their questions against. Well, then why is the world like this if QAnon's not real, if it's not valid? And you're like, well, this is actually why. This is why you're being duped. And they're like, well, if I'm being duped by QAnon, then why is everything here so much like a religion? Tell me God's real. And they're like, oh, that's a whole other story we can't get into. But
about it, and I'm really committed to helping other people escape from this, because I really believe that it's a cult. It operates like a cult in every single way, and people don't realize that they're being consumed by QAnon until it's too late.
And before we get to your advice for other people, if you hadn't gotten out, would you have been one of the people that we saw at the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol? Did you know that was happening? Were you planning to go there?
I wasn't aware of it back in July, when everything happened with me, and I've been on the road to recovery since last July. But I will say, it is incredibly scary how quickly people become radicalized and violent.
Yeah, so, she's pushing a book, but she was crazy. The video, I think we watched the video, actually, because I was playing, like, the QAnon freakouts, like Karen freakouts, public freakouts, a bunch of them this past summer. So I'm pretty sure we played the video from Target.
I have to go film a freakout video so I can sell my barbecuing book. I'm thinking about going to Victoria's Secret and just ripping all the panties off the wall and saying, "Masks are for losers. Don't wear these masks. It's all a scam." But throwing panties around. That might make it go viral. People are like, that guy's stupid. Those aren't masks, they're panties.
We're taking a poll right now, and I wanted to take a moment to make everyone aware of it. It's a poll asking what we should do for our Patreon private show that's coming up here on February 19th, Friday, February 19th, a little more than a week away. And these are the three options that we have for you, for all of our patrons, $5 or more to vote on. It's reviewed the Onision documentary series. Cutting the Fat Friendly Fire, which is like, we could find old videos of people that are hosts and co-hosts of the show to show there. Or, you know what? I found out it was it's the third, and we called it the Demented Film Festival. So our memory isn't that good, but we remember it was cool when we did it.
Yeah.
So those are the three options, and you guys can vote if you want. There's a link in the description. You do have to be a patron to vote. But
I feel like you guys are going to be watching and reviewing that Onision documentary. I feel like I'm just going to. Call that one now.
It's trending in that direction. It is kind of close, though. We'll see
it's whatever the kids want.
Yeah.
We're giving you some options this time around because Ben and I couldn't make the decision on our own. And why should we? You guys are the ones that want to watch it. Ben and I just want to give it to you.
Yes.
Really wants to give it to you.
That's what I said.
What do we got here?
Trump team bargained for ownership stake in Parler if the president made an account report. So Trump's like, his team's like, Donald Trump will make a Parler account, but he wants an ownership stake in Parler, which is a good call from Trump's team. Like, why go over there for free? Like, they're not that big. Everybody there is already going to follow whatever the president says anywhere he says it, for the most part.
For sure.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if. Oh, you know what? I think everything you two just said about it is really all we can say, right?
Interesting.
I mean, unless you want to read it,
I don't know. I don't know what else we can say. He wanted to.
I mean, just like what can you say about that? Like, it's a smart move for him and his team to do, because he has value and he'll obviously get a lot of. There was a lot of people that weren't on Parler that would have gotten on Parler because of Donald Trump. Even like non-conservatives would have gotten on it just to see, what's he gonna say now? So
it looks like the Trump organization was offered 40% stake in Parler if Trump came on, though. That's some interesting information.
That is interesting.
That was available.
And all he had to do was create an account.
I don't know. It looks like that's what it said.
Yeah.
So according to that one small sentence I was able to read, they were going to offer him 40%, and I guess he turned that down.
I thought this would interest you more. I don't know.
Corey Feldman accuses Marilyn Manson of decades of mental and emotional abuse. Yeah, I guess Corey Feldman originally was a hot young woman before Marilyn Manson got his hands on him.
I would think Corey Feldman is either a little bit older or the same age as Marilyn Manson.
I think he's probably older.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. Both of them look like they lost a fight to Michael Jackson at some point.
There is a picture of them hanging out back in the day.
They're all stars now in the Dope Show.
Yeah.
Corey Feldman has accused Marilyn Manson of decades-long mental and emotional abuse and grooming him. That would explain his horrible style. Manson has been accused by a number of women, including actor and ex-partner Evan Rachel Wood, of abuse, grooming, and manipulation. The musician has denied those claims, writing in a statement posted to Instagram, "My intimate relationships have always been entirely consensual with like-minded partners. Regardless of how and why others are now choosing to misrepresent the past, that is the truth." Feldman shared his claims in a post on its Instagram page yesterday, February 5th. "The night Marilyn Manson tried to use and abuse me as his play toy, but tried to manipulate me into breaking my 5 years of sobriety to snort cocaine with him while gaslighting me for his press tour on mechanical animals was where the decades-long mental and emotional abuse began," he captioned a photo of himself with Manson. The actor and singer went on to say that he was not physically harmed on that night, but they described it as just the beginning of my nightmare. Who's Sea Dog? Is that his name?
Yes.
Sea Dog 22?
Yeah.
Oop.
Yeah, what a horrible name choice.
He went on to claim that Marilyn Manson had been obsessed with him for over 2 decades, pointing to several meetings that Manson had written about in his book, Long Road Out of Hell. Feldman said the musician begun to groom him when he met at a premiere in New York where Manson had grabbed my face in front of the crowd and kissed me with his black lipstick that I couldn't rub off all night. Before the book came out, Manson heavily pursued a friendship with me, he alleged, telling me I was his idol, telling me he actually got his whole style by watching my film Dream a Little Dream, and my character, Bobby Keller, was the inspiration for his entire look. I don't know if that was the truth, but he used it as a way to manipulate me. Feldman claimed that Manson had messed with my life ever since.
They're hacking him in real time.
In real time. Manson has not commented on the new allegations at the time of writing. NME have contacted representatives for Manson for official comment. The musician was dropped by his record label Loma Vista earlier this week, as well as by his long-term manager, Tony Ciula. Manson has also been axed from his TV projects and will no longer appear in American Gods or the Creep Show anthology.
Wow.
I feel bad for Corey Feldman. Not because of the Marilyn Manson thing, but because I've seen his music, and you'd think with all that money, he'd be able to put out something better.
It is pretty awful. Oh my God.
What's the more...
You know, back in the day, you remember on Nickelodeon they had the Kids' Choice Awards?
Yes.
Yeah. Like when they had like the first or second one, Corey Feldman performed at it. And he basically
performed what?
I'll tell you. He performed a solo vocal performance, and he's basically trying to be Michael Jackson, but he's awful. Like he's trying to do like Michael Jackson style dancing. He's awful. He's dressed like him even.
Yeah.
He might even have a glove.
He probably did.
I'll have to pull it up, but his singing is awful too.
Yeah. It's really bad. When you were saying what he performed, I thought you were going to say a Tijuana donkey show. But then when you said what he actually did, it was worse.
Yeah. It was at the third. I'm not going to play the music. I don't even know if the music.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Here it is.
That's Michael Jackson, isn't it?
No, it's Corey Feldman.
Oh, no. Is that Corey Feldman?
Yes.
Look at him go.
Hey, Mom, could you give me that new Michael Jackson record? Yeah, I'll pick it up from the dollar store. No!
He's killing it.
Yeah.
All right. The AC Slater going to come out and challenge him in 2 seconds. Alfonso Ribeiro is going to pop out in a second.
AC Slater needs to shove him in a locker.
Now, he could actually dance like Michael Jackson.
Alfonso Ribeiro was a supreme dance king.
Yeah, that's how he got in that commercial with Michael Jackson when he was a kid, long before Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
If I was Alfonso Ribeiro, I would kick the crap out of Corey Feldman.
Look at him, though.
Oh, this is hilarious. I like the Captain Crunch jacket. That's dope. Captain Kangaroo. Let's say Captain Crunch. I meant Captain K.
Yeah, we might have to bring Corey Feldman into the cringerweight title scene.
Yes, dude, this alone could win it.
Oh, dude, he's got so much cringe. There's a disgusting. There was a one when he was working for The Billionaire.
It was the third Kids' Choice Award, so whatever, 88 or 89.
When Corey Feldman was working for The Billionaire that I worked for in Beverly Hills, he brought Fred Durst in as a guest on his show.
Who did again?
Corey Feldman brought Fred Durst in to the guest on his show at the TV station Joe and I used to work at for The Billionaire.
Yeah.
And The Billionaire was like, called Corey up, like, Corey, get him to perform a song. And Corey Feldman's like, so yeah, Fred, will you perform a song? And Fred just looks at him like, who the hell are you? Or like you're using me for this reality or not, the public broadcast garbage show. Corey Feldman looked like such a cringy, like suck ass, and Fred Durst was like, so gross. So gross.
Yeah, look, if Fred Durst thinks you're gross, you're super gross. You're like Florida gross.
Yes.
Real quick, wait, am I allowed to say Florida gross? That's a lie.
Please don't say Florida gross.
Just real quick. Corey Feldman is 49 years old. He'll be 50 this year, and Marilyn Manson just turned 52.
Oh, he is a little older.
Corey Feldman is 49.
He looks bad for 49.
Because he had some years put on him.
Yeah, he does not look good. It's all that time he spent with the other Corey.
All those years of getting emotionally abused by Marilyn Manson
and Michael Jackson.
Okay. What's a more off-putting idea? The idea that Marilyn Manson may have emotionally and abused Corey Feldman, or the idea that Corey Feldman is completely making this up for clout?
He's making this up. Why didn't he say it before? Why is he saying it now all of a sudden?
I think the worst thing is that Marilyn Manson is running after Michael Jackson's sloppy seconds.
He might as well say Tom Brady abused him too. You know, like be more topical and relevant.
You think Corey Feldman's going to claim he played for the Kansas City Chiefs?
You mean the chef?
The Kansas City Chefs? I spelled Bucks, B-U-C-K-S on that.
It's yeah.
And then I spelled chefs because I just want everybody to know how much I didn't care about the Super Bowl. And then turns out I guessed the winning team and the score they won by in my jokey.
No, that wasn't the winning team.
I guessed that
the chefs did not win.
I guessed that the Bucks would win 31-27, and they won 31-9. The chefs underdelivered, but I guessed the right number from the winning team. The
chefs
Bucks,
didn't even play.
The Timber Bucks or whatever the Minnesota Viking Bucks.
The Ohio State Buckeyes are the Bucks.
The Bucks. Yeah. I knew the Bucks were gonna win by 31. I don't know, man.
All right. Feel free to read the Streamlabs, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Thanks to everyone who sent in some so far. It's been pretty quick. And by the way, to all of our winners of the card game that we played in the last 2 episodes, your stuff will be coming very shortly, along with all the actual maniacs, everyone who qualified for the Wizard Cringe. Actually, you're going to be getting yours soon, too.
The Wizard Cringe.
Yeah, the Toothless Wizard figure is actually pretty cool.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it looks like the design of it is actually pretty amazing. I wonder if I think I might have one down here.
We got a little dono from Lucicher, said, where'd that guy get his mask?
So I'm glad you asked the question, because my lovely partner below me, Monty, say hi to everybody.
Invisible Monty. Say hi.
Oh, he's not. Okay. All right. He's not here. He's still conjugating visits with his white girlfriend. I gotta be, man, I'm doing a PG episode. PG-13 is interesting. No, Monty made my mask for me. He made this mask. Monty makes all. I have like 100 masks, but this particular version, Monty made it. So there you go.
Yeah, that's the Vaughn figure.
He's toothless.
Sometimes they have these little like tags on them. All you have to do is like take a pair of pliers and pull that off.
Just clean it up a little bit.
Yeah.
The Toothless Wizard is wonderful. Matthew Quecklaus says, "Don't forget about little old me." Yeah, Matthew. Ben and I were talking after the show, and we're not going to forget about you. Don't worry. We're gonna show up at your house with a birthday cake, and no, maybe not, but we will get in touch with you, or get in touch with us, or punch us in the teeth. Don't do that. Don't do that. Isolation Agorist says, "Ooh, sweet boys, cute people. Am I right? Where are the underground laser raptors? They promised my dinos with lasers. They should have given us the dinos with lasers at least."
Who was that from? Mask?
That was from Isolation Agorist.
No, I mean the TV show Mask. Wasn't that the show where
Dinosaurs
people
with
ride
lasers?
dinosaurs that would shoot the lasers?
No, it wasn't dinosaurs. They had like vehicles that would turn into like heavily armored like assault vehicles.
What was the show where they would was it called Dinosaurs? Was that the name of the show?
I remember that the toys around it. I don't remember the show. But those dino toys were so cool. They were dinos with lasers.
Show everyone the Vaughn one more time, please.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see it. There might be more available later, but this is for people from like months ago. We had to figure out.
He's in his underwears.
Yeah.
He's got his little pecker.
Yeah.
So back to reading all this stuff.
Sorry.
That I'm contractually obligated to read. Lucifer says, "Dang, I want to buy one that's badass." Talking about the mask, yeah. That's a sweet mask. Dino Riders, Chet Lemon says, "Yeah, was Dino Riders the one where they had lasers?" It makes sense.
So there was a show called Dino Riders, and there was a show called Dinosaurs. And the question is, which one did the dinosaurs have lasers that they could shoot at you? That's
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs was fun too.
Kudos to anyone who remembers the Centurions. If you remember that.
I almost see you're trying to make me violate the terms of our agreement, BENPAI, all right? Because I almost cursed just now.
Hannibal,
out of joy.
Don't make me cut off one of your fingers and put them in the swear jar. You made a deal.
Wait,
next segment.
I still have to read all this.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
You know what? Play the intro. I'm gonna go pee.
Go pee. The intro's gonna be over by the time you're out of the before you're out of the room.
I should turn off the goddamn internet.
Are they gonna touch me, DP?
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. DP, are they gonna touch me?
Yeah, the Centurions. I'll show people what they were. They were like late 80s, early 90s action figures.
Yeah, the Centurions.
Yeah.
It was around the same time as Silverhawks. It was, that same
Ace McCloud.
The Centurions was that show. Okay, so Mask was the show that I had all the toys and I never watched the show. And I think Centurions, I used to watch the show and I never had the toys.
I did both. There was another one that some people don't remember, but it was a great concept. It didn't last that long, but it did have a TV series. It was called The Sky Commanders.
Sky Commanders, yes.
Yeah. They had like zip lines. They had zip lines that you could like.
You just be knowing the most obscure, random, just stuff, BENPAI. Yes. Nobody saw this show. Nobody watched the show at all. It had awesome toys. Nobody watched the show.
Yeah, here's like a screenshot of the show. Yeah, basically, they all had zip lines, and they had their own, like, zip line vehicles, and they're really long. Like, I would run them from, like, the top of the stairs at my parents' house all the way down to, like, the bottom of the stairs. You'd, like, hook them to, like, a doorknob on each end or something, and then you'd have these crazy zip lines, and some of them had, like, little, like, battery-powered things that would pull them automatically, like, back up the zip line. Like they could like ride almost like an elevator or like a cable car gondola type thing.
Yeah, I used to love this. There used to be a show that used to come on at like 5 a.m. every morning. It was called The Bionic Six, and that was my show. I used to love that show. I tried rewatching it again as an adult, and it does not hold up. I tried watching Silverhawks again too when it was on Netflix, and I tried rewatching it, and I was like, yeah, this doesn't hold up. It hurt my heart that I didn't like, but the intro is still amazing, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna sample this, I'm gonna make a beat out of this, and I was like, nobody's gonna know I'm sampling Silverhawks because nobody remembers that.
I do. I watched that religiously too, and I had a bunch of the action figures.
Do you think you know it well enough where if somebody made a beat out of it, you would be like, oh, that's
I still remember the song. Wings of silver, nerves of steel, silver hawks, partly mental, partly real. Yep. Yeah, I would know. That shit never gets by me. That never.
That was my shit. That was my joint.
Yep.
Our buddy Marcus Livingood, so Ohio represent, lived in Butler for a bit and hung out in Mansfield. Mostly Ohio sucks, but I miss it sometimes.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I miss Ohio sometimes too, and I think mostly Ohio sucks as well. But Ohio is for lovers. That's a fact.
It's crazy to think that it's been forever since I've been there. Like
how long?
Probably like 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been longer for me. Homeland, Ohio. Two Guns, No Ammo gave us that big love. Locust God gave us that big love. Matt Jarjosa says you wouldn't impeach a car. Prove it. I would. I swear I would. Cole James gave us that big love. Shout out to Tucker in Athens, Georgia. Bat McBatterson gave us that big love. Cole James with more big love. And if I look back at the beginning of all this, that would tell me we're caught up. And please send more so I have more things to read.
Yeah, make him read more. Reading is a fundamental thing.
Reading's fundamental.
All right, here's I have two things here. This first thing is Baked Alaska's public defender in Arizona explaining to a judge why his client did not show up for his hearing for assault charges that he had gotten bonded out for. And the reason big was that Baked Alaska was hiding from the police because he was involved in the Capitol siege. So this is interesting.
And were you able to check the sound?
Yeah, I think it's all right.
Okay. And just to make everyone aware, we are currently on the record.
Thank you. And he was issued release conditions in writing, which he did sign for. Term 2 stipulated that he violate no federal, state, or local criminal law.
Sorry, just real quick. Before we get rolling with all of this, I did want to ask that this be reset, as I had previously filed motions on because of the time frame of all of this. I haven't had as I mentioned just a minute ago, I haven't had an opportunity to have a meaningful conversation with my client about this, as well as I've asked for the FTR regarding his arraignment. I believe that there may be information in there that is pertinent to this, as well as the fact that this hearing was set immediately after the state filing the motion for this. I haven't had a chance to respond to that at all. So I would ask that this be reset.
Sure. Go ahead.
That's all.
Okay. Sure. Well, let me refer you to your motion continue. It doesn't mention any of that. Your motion continue is undersigned counsel recently submitted a request to Scottsdale City Court to disclose video/and/or audio recordings of December 11, 2020 proceedings.
Yeah.
The continuance is needed to allow the court.
So this is he pepper sprayed a bouncer at a bar that he was taunting and kind of forced the guy to physically remove him from the property.
Yeah.
To produce and disclose these recordings to the defense. Of course, the court wouldn't. I assume it's just a typo, meaning the state.
Sure.
How would that have anything to do with release conditions?
So, and I did file, I don't know if you can see, but I had filed a motion for reconsideration.
No, it hasn't arrived yet.
Okay.
Again, how does your motion have to do with anything with release conditions?
Again, I'm asking for the FTR for the arraignment so that I can hear what Mr. Gionet
What's an FTR?
I'm not sure.
Failed to respond or what?
Maybe.
Failure to
Informed
respond?
during the arraignment.
What state is he in?
Arizona.
Yeah. Well, he's actually currently in Texas where he's being held.
Texas.
Oh, it means for the record.
Okay.
And why isn't your client here to explain what he thought it was?
Oh, did he just talk out of a horn?
I can't tell you.
Man, it would suck to have to
Probably
be this.
because we had only a few days to prepare for this.
Okay, since the client has chosen not to show up, I'm not going to grant your motion to continue. I would have
Correct.
considered it if he had been here to explain his side, but since he's chosen not to, I'm going to hear the argument. If he ever deems to show up to court, he can always explain his side.
Well, what I'm saying is that his side is that we were given a short window of notice and no meaningful opportunity to respond.
I wonder if he actually does know what's going on with him right now. I wonder if his lawyer does know, and he's just playing ignorant at this point.
The state's petition, so
Sure.
so that's why he's not able to be here.
Why did that stop him from coming here, much like you're here?
Oof.
Well, because
I get paid to be here.
Because he's running from the FBI, Your Honor. He streamed himself on the internet talking through Nancy Pelosi's phone in her office.
It was for the
seriously?
donos. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
He
shit.
live streamed himself
Damn.
committing a federal offense.
Yeah. In Nancy Pelosi's office, picked up the
Yeah,
phone.
right. I do. Okay, yeah. I remember us. Okay,
He can pick up the
okay, I do
phone and
remember.
call Nancy Pelosi, but he can't give his lawyer a call?
So he was doing court for this assault charge while he was hiding because he knew the feds were after him now.
Oh.
Right, and he was like, he didn't want to come to court for one thing, and then they take him to jail for something else. I know so many people that I know. Yeah,
He's so
I know so many
stupid.
people that's happened to.
People, like, there are some IRL streamers that, like, they kind of let the attention they get to their head, and then they make stupid decisions that will prohibit them from live streaming again for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Like, we knew a guy here in Seattle that went into a classroom on the university campus, a classroom full of students, and played it played a TTS donation where they could play like a video audio and he had a loudspeaker with him and it played like this bomb destruct sequence and it started like a bomb countdown and all the people in the room just ran out of the room.
Everybody just ran.
And then,
ran,
20 minutes later, while he's walking down the street, he's got 5 cops with their guns pointed at him.
It was a prank, bro.
And he was in jail for a while. And when he got out, he was in jail for what, like 6 months or something?
Quite a while, and then he was not allowed online for a long time.
Yes.
But he's back. Your boy's back. He messaged me wanting to IRL stream, and I'm like, dude, it's COVID. I don't go out in real life anymore.
The notice.
You're saying something precluded him from coming here in 2 days, and you don't know what that is.
Correct.
Okay? I'm not going to grant the motion to continue. Again, if he ever deems to come to court, I will listen to his side, but he knows about today's hearing. He's not here. We have no explanation that you can offer as to why he's not hearing, except for some reason 2 days isn't enough notice to appear.
It's abnormal for the court to set, at least in the other courts I practice in, Your Honor, for the court to set a hearing and require the presence of everyone, especially in today's setting where everything is virtual. I'm happy to get him on the phone.
He better not turn into a cat.
If he wants to explain to me why he couldn't physically show up today, yes, you can get him on the phone. But that's what I want as an answer, is why he physically was precluded from coming here today.
Okay.
He left the state, which was him not leaving Arizona was a condition of his release. So he violated that too. He's got a lot of trouble. Like, he's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Your Honor, I want to give you answers, but it would only ruin my client's chance of freedom. Me playing dumb and him playing dumb is our best defense.
You know, you'll hear in the next recording of his federal pretrial. It sounds like he's gonna walk free in the meantime with an ankle monitor, but you'll hear that.
May I have a moment to call?
Sure.
Okay.
Does the judge know that Baked Alaska was a part of the Capitol riot protest?
Probably not.
I don't know. I bet you he does, but
He hasn't
I bet
mentioned
you
it.
I bet you he can't bring outside information in.
The judge? The judge can say whatever.
Are you sure they can bring outside information? Don't they have to present what the court's given them? What the lawyers and defense and everything brings them? Isn't that why the jury has to be on a no television order while they're on the trial?
That doesn't always happen.
A lot of times it does.
Not in something as low profile as I can almost guarantee you the judge doesn't know why he's not there. Like, you can hear that he doesn't know. He doesn't know why he's not there.
Unless he's trying to bait the lawyer into saying something on record, because it's all on record. That's the difference between knowing and not knowing. The judge can't bring stuff off record on record. He's supposed to be impartial. He's supposed to be the judge.
I love listening to people make phone calls in court.
All right. I think that might... It's really long, but I think that might be...
We ain't leaving this bitch!
Oh, they're playing the video?
From where? From
the night of him attacking the bouncer.
Today's setting, especially given that we don't know any background information about this video.
Okay. Overruled. You may present.
Judge, also I'm going to ask the court to receive State Exhibit 2, which is a booking photo from this incident, from when he was released to Aurora.
And just for the record, when you say this incident, you're referring to this Scottsdale case?
The Scottsdale case, correct.
Okay.
And any objection to the booking photo?
No objection to the booking
States 2 is a minute.
They're also investigating him for 2016 election fraud now, too.
He's going to get an ankle monitor?
Any other rooms? Oh! Let's check. Hey, it's a fancy one. Hey, we're getting a nice tour of the Capitol.
They're saying, man, they're literally doing Nazi salutes. Oh, Monty is free now. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Here he comes.
Free at last, free at last,
oh
free
my
at
God.
last.
Wait, they were playing the record. Wait. Who's playing?
It went crazy because I brought someone else into the call. Are you there? Hannibal?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah,
right.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think what's going on is the prosecution is like, hey, we know where he is.
Oh, wow. This is a nice one. Yeah, don't destroy everything. Yeah, just, we're in our house. Let's go. We ain't leaving people alive.
All right, I want to hear what they say.
Anything additional from the state?
No, sir.
Okay, do we have a way to pull up the audio from the December 11th arraignment? Can we pull that up so you hear it? And then I'll give you your opportunity to address the issues.
All right, whatever. Yeah, so he's fucked, or he's in big trouble there. Here's
good old Baked Alaska. Can't wait to hear the
Baked
final
Alaska
verdict.
is a dish, right? Like it's something you eat,
Yeah,
right?
a Baked Alaska is a meringue dish that is
it's like a dessert.
A nice dessert that's cooked meringue. It's a big old cake situation. Yummy meringue top, delicious.
Okay, gotcha.
Delicious.
This
the Baked Alaska is not delicious.
United
Sour.
States of America versus
Disgusting.
Tim Gionet. This is scheduled to be an initial appearance on a Rule 5 case held by video. Will the parties please introduce themselves to the court, beginning with the government?
Kelly Smith on behalf of the United States.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Joseph Scrofano, local counsel on behalf of Mr. Gionet. I filed a motion for admission pro hoc vice this morning for Zachary Thornley from Arizona, who's present on the call also.
Your Honor. Dre Sidbury for pre-trial service.
Mr. Gionet, can you hear me? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So he's actually there for this one, but it's like all virtual.
Mr. Tran, please defend it.
Mr. Gionet, do you solemnly swear that the answers you're about to give will be the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do. Sir, can you please state your name for the record? Tim Gionet.
He goes by Tim. Somehow maybe it's the T-H-I-M. He's a Tim.
Anthony is a weird fucking name. I'm sure Tim is common usage, like Richard has other names like Rich and Ricky.
And
how old are you?
I can't even figure out what it's supposed to be.
It's
Anthony
like
or
Anthony.
33.
Anthony Hardaway.
And he's 33.
How far did you get in school? Bachelor's degree. Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medicine in the past?
Yo, what?
20 hours that would make today.
You what?
No, sir. Gionet, you're just here for an initial appearance here in the District of Columbia. I'm going to make sure you have counsel in this case and set conditions of release, assuming the court is, that the government is not seeking your detention. Then we're going to set a next date and get this case moving, all right? Yes,
So wait, they have him now?
Yeah, he was arrested by the FBI like not too long ago. So
shoot.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
I'm over here looking up the name Anthony.
It's probably French. Is it French?
I think it has a French origin. Yes, it is a French origin.
Like the name it's Gionet, right? I mean, like that's how you would actually pronounce it.
The oldest recorded birth by Social Security Administration for the name Anthony is Thursday, March 20th, 1873. From 1880 to 2018, less than 5 people per year have been born with the first name Anthony.
Last name? So
the first name Anthony.
Oh, okay.
And then if I search for Anthony without any sort of just that name, that word alone, that name word, Baked Alaska comes up like from that or directly at the very top.
Yeah, it's a very uncommon
like,
name.
Boom, right there. I search Anthony, Baked Alaska right there. First thing. And then
Did Paul, what about Paul Collector? Did that pop up as well?
Pog Collector. Let me see.
Gionet, we're
Pog
doing this by video
Collector.
because of the pandemic, but to protect your health and safety and the health and safety of the other court participants. I can only do that, though, with your permission. So do you waive any right you may have?
Yeah, the accused has to agree to doing this electronically rather than in a court.
Yeah.
You know, there's
did-
rumors that he actually had COVID while he was at the Capitol, too.
Yeah, I wonder if that's true.
I think he had talked about having
To an
it.
in-person proceeding and agree to proceed by video. Yes, Your Honor. One moment.
One moment.
Mr. Thornley, you've been retained by Mr. Gionet today. Is that correct? That's correct. To represent him in this case? That is correct. Mr. Gionet,
That's
if at any
correct.
point you believe
My
you're
client is
unable
a
to
bitch
afford
ass.
counsel,
That's correct.
let the court know and we'll appoint counsel to represent you, all right? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thornley, I reviewed a number of where I've been told that the order with respect to your motion pro hoc vice has been granted. There is an additional supplemental information we're requesting that you provide. That will be in the order. I'm prepared to let you represent your client here, though, today. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Gionet, you do face a Class A misdemeanor in this case, at least one. That means that you can proceed to trial, judgment, and sentencing in this case before a district judge, or if you consent before a magistrate judge. You don't need to make that decision here today. Mr. Thornley can help you make that decision. You do, however, have to make the decision prior to the setting of any trial date, prior to the taking of any guilty plea or the filing of any substantive motion. When you make that election, whether you choose to go before a district judge or a magistrate judge, the judge will be randomly assigned. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Smith, is the government seeking defendants?
It is interesting that they're misdemeanors. I don't know what a Class A, let me see, federal Class A misdemeanor.
This is for spraying the mace only, right?
No, this is the federal charge. Yeah.
So breaking and entering
Federal
or entering?
Class A
Yeah,
misdemeanor.
Our Class A misdemeanors carry 1 year or less, but more than 6 months, and or a $1 million fine. So that's not that much time, but the election fraud thing, that's interesting.
The government is not seeking the defendant's detention. However, we are requesting courtesy supervision by the Southern District of Texas based on our request that GPS monitoring be used. I believe that was something that was requested and granted in the Southern District of Texas, and we asked that that be continued. I would just note for the record that at the time of Mr. Gionet's arrest, he had another warrant in a different matter in Arizona where he had violated the conditions of his release by traveling, and that is the basis for the GPS request in this case. The government is additionally requesting that Mr. Gionet stay away from Washington, D.C., unless for court, pretrial, or consultation with his attorney, to call pretrial services once per week and verify his address, to advise pretrial services of any travel within the United States outside of his home jurisdiction, which, as I understand it, is the Southern District of Texas. No travel outside the continental United States.
A Class A misdemeanor is like the highest kind of misdemeanor, it looks like.
Did we get Monty earlier, or was that like a
It
troll?
sounds like he's in here.
Okay.
I'm here now. I'm
Okay.
here now.
Okay.
Yes. I got the itis. I'm sorry. I'm here though.
You got... Wait, no, the itis isn't coronavirus.
Yeah, no, I got the itis. I
Okay.
ate too much barbecue.
Oh, you sick boy. Poor child. Delicious
Oh, I'm feeling
barbecue. Nom,
Yeah,
nom.
We're listening to Baked Alaska in court trying to defend him, having Nancy Pelosi's phone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, also, good to get you on the show, finally, Monty.
Hannibal, do you think that maybe you are using the wrong microphone right now?
It's weird how it like switched like that. Like his audio went way up.
Yeah, because your audio is like super distorted right now, and I feel like
that's because the better part of the duo showed up.
Interesting.
So it just the levels just changed, when
Interesting.
States without court approval to participate in all future proceedings as directed and possess no illegal firearms and commit no state or federal crimes.
What are you requesting? Are you just requesting GPS? Or are you requesting some other electronic monitoring in addition to curfew and some sort of home confinement?
GPS, Your Honor, with respect to enforcing the travel ban, essentially.
Okay. So not a curfew and not home confinement of any sort.
Man, he's getting off so easy.
Until trial.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Monty. Oh, Monty.
Sorry.
One of the big things I think that we have to look at here is this isn't just a case towards Baked Alaska. This is the federal case. If they're treating somebody with priors and we're violating other court orders like this, I think a lot of people at the Capitol are going to get slaps on the wrist. This is very eye-opening for beyond just Baked Alaska's case. This is somebody who wasn't even supposed to leave their state, and that they know about that when they bring it up, and they're like, because of that, he should have a GPS monitoring.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Sidbury, any additional requests?
Your Honor, to my understanding, I was under the impression the defendant lived in Arizona. He was arrested in Texas. We have contacted
Hold up.
Arizona, and they did indicate that they would supervise the defendant, but I just needed further clarification regarding his current residence.
Mr. Thornley?
He was in Texas hiding out. That's where they found him. That's where he's being held now. But he lives in Arizona. That's probably where he's going to go, and he's in trouble there too. So I wonder if he'll go to jail in Arizona, like waiting for federal. I don't know how that works. Like when you're in trouble federally and in your state.
I think you go through the process of both, and you serve whichever one is a higher offense first, and then they pulled you off until you go into the other one. I don't think you can get time served under federal and local jurisdiction. I don't think they count between each other. I think you just get pulled into probably the federal will take precedence, and he'll serve his federal time and then go back to serving his state sentence.
Your Honor, Mr. Saberi is correct. The home district for Mr. Gionet is the United States District for the District of Arizona. So he was arrested in Houston.
I don't know who else. It's probably whoever recorded this. I can hear someone like comment every now and then and laugh about what's going on.
He was on his way back from D.C. At the time that he was arrested, and that's why Houston was kind of.
So its home jurisdiction would be the District of Arizona.
Correct.
This is some good commentary,
And
though.
did you say, Mr.
That's what we should just do all the time.
If we did, we'd probably get way more views.
Arizona has agreed to courtesy
Y'all could just
supervision
beat it some butthead this thing.
Yeah,
people
love
Mr.
that.
Gionet.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then. Mr. Thornley?
One of the big exit polls we'll get from people when they leave watching this show is that we talk too much and we think we're smart. Like, you talk too much, you think you're smart, and so I think we should start saying.
I didn't come to this podcast and listen to you talk.
Yeah.
No.
You want to be heard with respect? Go ahead, Mr. Sidbury. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Your Honor, in reference to the defendant calling our jurisdiction, that we would want clarification for that. Is the defendant going to be supervised in Arizona unless you just want the electronic monitoring device to be supervised there and have him call in once a week? If maybe
I see a lot of people in the chat saying Fuentes ratted everybody out. That would be hilarious if that were true.
easier for the defendant to call. It may be just easy for the defendant to call Arizona once a week, and you put that in the order as a condition of courtesy supervision, rather than have him call us weekly and have the bracelet in Arizona. It's totally up to the court.
Well, what I'm going to do is what I've done in other cases, which is direct that he be supervised by the District of Arizona, and that he will then have to report as directed by the District of Arizona. I don't know what their reporting requirements are there, if they're weekly or in more frequency, and I don't know if they permit
So I guess
reporting by
they're
phone.
handing him. The feds are handing him off to Arizona. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well,
It sounds like.
there he's going to have ankle bracelet or GPS monitoring in Arizona, and Arizona is the one that says he can't leave, so he'll be able to go back and do his stuff in Arizona while they continue his trial for federal. And it looks
So
like
they're-
the federal stuff is going to be a slap on the wrist.
So they're going to put him in jail in Arizona because he violated his
Probably,
bail
yeah.
and everything.
Or in person, so I will leave that up to pretrial services in the District of Arizona. But all the supervision in this case, from location monitoring to the reporting, will be handled by the District of Arizona. But Mr. Thornley, I'll hear from you.
Yes, I just wanted to clarify what Mrs. Smith mentioned, which was no home confinement, because currently he is on home confinement.
Well, that's right. The government's request, as I understand it, is just that he be electronically monitored to make sure that he is staying within the District of Arizona. They are not requesting home confinement.
Wait, so are they asking him
I'm not going to
was he
impose.
home confined already?
That's what they said.
And now they're asking for that to be removed after he committed a crime?
Well, the judge is saying it doesn't look like Arizona wants him home confined. They would just want him to not leave the state. He's obviously already done that, and his entire case at home has been no-showed the entire way through. So when he gets back in Arizona, he probably is going to have a warrant, a scoop-up warrant, the second he gets back, and he'll get locked up and have to sit in there for a weekend or however long it takes to see a judge. And then the judge then will say, look, we're going to put you out, and maybe we'll give you the house arrest. Maybe we'll do whatever. But this judge here is saying he'll leave it up to Arizona to take care of. And so he doesn't have to waste federal resources and funds sending this stuff over there, knowing that Arizona's probably going to handle him. And if Arizona doesn't, then I guess our boy Teflon Don and the Teflon cookie sheet.
If he just keeps slipping, there's been so many videos of him almost getting arrested, and he gets out of it too. It's crazy.
That requirement.
So it says that he is currently facing misdemeanor assault, disorderly conduct, and trespassing charges after pepper spraying a bouncer in December.
Yes.
And that was before the charges for him being inside of Nancy Pelosi's office.
Yes.
Wow. That was before that video. So when did he go to court for the first video we watched? That was, when did he go to court for that? Or when did his lawyer go to court for that? Monty, you missed it because his lawyer, Baked Alaska's lawyer, was like, "Hey, we want to move for blah 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 blah," and then the judge was like, "Cool, where's your client?" He was like, "Huh?"
Yeah, I don't know.
He's like, "He's not here." He's like, "I know he's not here. Why isn't he here?"
Because.
Yeah,
because it's the best answer I can give, so I'm gonna give it.
It was an awesome defense, you know.
Yes, the good old because defense.
Yeah.
Presently on home confinement in the District of Arizona, well, then you'll have to deal with the District of Arizona. I don't know what their practice is. You might have heard in the other cases. I've said the same thing I'll tell you now, which is some jurisdictions, I thought most, would dismiss their case once the defendant has shown up and received conditions of release in the jurisdiction that issued the warrant. That certainly is my practice. I would dismiss the removal case when I know that the defendant has shown up in the jurisdiction that wanted him. I've heard that other jurisdictions don't have that practice. A district down in Florida does not have that practice. I've been told that. So I don't know what happens in the district. I did see the warrant for issues with respect to not complying with such location restriction in the past. Anything further, Mr. Thornley?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Gionet, I will release you then on your personal recognizance with the following conditions. First of all, you will be supervised by the District of the Pretrial Services for the District of Arizona. I will require that you do have GPS monitoring, so you have to continue to wear the device. It will not restrict you to your house. You will, however, be restricted to the District of Arizona, and you cannot travel outside of that district without first getting notice.
I'm surprised there's you can't stream on the internet.
Yeah, this guy's about to get a huge payday if he gets to go live.
Tell me, was he wearing the ankle bracelet when he was in Nancy Pelosi's office?
No.
This is why he's wearing the ankle bracelet.
He wasn't supposed to leave Arizona, and he did. And so they're saying we need to be GPS tracked because his previous court case in Arizona showed him to not adhere to the rules of staying in state, which, is pretty cool. If you're white and you mess up,
he's gotten away with a lot.
You just get to keep doing it. I should have been more of a criminal.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I really kind of am. I just don't get caught because I'm not an idiot. But, man.
You just admitted it.
Well, you have to hold that one up in court.
Now you're caught, Billy.
And even if I go to court, guys, I got blood results. I'm super white. I'm going to be fine.
Fine. Pretrial services in the District of Arizona.
Now, look, you can't trust those 23andMe tests. That doesn't, just because it came back, that you're 99.9% white. It doesn't mean that those results are wrong often.
What do you think? What do you think I got going on other than pale face, Peckerwood DNA? You think I got something else in there?
No. Hey, I didn't. Hey, Faith. Okay, watch language, Billy.
You may not travel outside the continental United States without getting written permission of this court. Further, you are to stay away from Washington, D.C. The only reason you can come to D.C. is for purposes of court appearances, meetings with counsel, which I can't imagine you would need to. Because Mr. Thornley, are you in Arizona?
I am, Your Honor.
So I don't know why you'd even need to come here to do that. But in case you do, you've got to go to review evidence, what have you, in Maryland and Washington. You may do that. So it's court appearances and meeting with counsel here in the district. Also, well, there's no need for you to come here for any pretrial services business because you will be.
All right. So it looks like he's, not too much is happening right now.
Slap on the wrist. Like, understand, when me and my brother first moved to Atlanta after Hurricane Katrina, he was dating this girl, and her 16-year-old son stabbed my brother in the back with a fork. The police came, took my brother to jail. His bond was like $100, $200. It was nothing. And they refused to let him out because they were like, oh, you're from New Orleans? Therefore, you are a flight risk. So they made him stay there until he went to court.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, that was 2005, 2006 that happened.
Because he got forked?
Yeah, he got forked.
That's rough.
That's crazy. Yeah, it was just I mean, he took the fork out. I mean, he was okay. He just grabbed it from his back. He was okay. Yeah.
Well, my papa was a little kid. He threw a fork in my aunt's back, and she had fork prongs in her back like her whole life from a fork.
Oh,
Forks are serious business.
Yes.
Jeez,
Yeah. Don't fork around.
All this time I've been sleeping on fork usage. I've been like, everybody's like, I got to get a knife. I got to get a gun. Y'all sleeping on y'all fork game.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Next time somebody upsets you, fork them.
I got a fork. I got a fork for the streets and a spoon for the sheets.
There you go. Perfect.
Look, I just came up with the next $1 billion app, right? It's a video game for children. Call it Fork Night, right?
Oh, yes.
Everybody's head is a fork.
Yeah.
That's the game. It's the same game, except everybody's got forks for heads.
From the creators of VeggieTales, Fork Night. A Christian-based fighting game.
I didn't know what VeggieTales was until an episode of Rick and Morty, and then it was like, wait, what is this? It's a Christian cartoon about vegetables?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So it was like, you just like, hey, what can we?
Jesus.
We said, let's take two very unpopular things with children and put them together. You should have just added brushing your teeth to that movie while he was at it.
Well, parents buy the stuff for the kids, so it doesn't matter. Like, the parents are going to buy it. And plus, in the story, it's kind of cool because Jesus stir-fried for our sins.
There you go. Facts. That is in the Bible. It's like 1 Genesis 3:8.
Yeah, in the VeggieTales universe, the Bible is actually just called the menu. All the original ingredients.
I don't know if you're joking right now. Like, you might be dead ass serious. Am I allowed to say dead ass?
No. Honestly, if you could just start not talking, that would be the best for the podcast.
Yeah, really, honestly. Look, you think it's bad now. When I used to work at the porn store, after I stopped working there, it was impossible for me to it took like a solid year for me to learn how to communicate with regular people.
The original two ingredients in the menu was Adam asparagus and Eve eggplant.
Oh, I believe that.
Okay. See, I think you should have went Adam eggplant and Eve.
Yeah.
I don't know what
you
know what?
The eggplant. Eve peach.
Nah, man, because everybody knows Eve had a swanger.
Yeah.
I'm asking you. It's not recording. Oh, sorry. I got it.
What were you saying?
I was just saying, hey, if you're watching the show, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click the like button. 500 of y'all watching. Go ahead and click. Go ahead, consensually make sweet love to that like button. She's been quarantined for months, and she needs your approval.
If you hit the like button right now, I literally will send a cavalcade of cheeseburgers to your front doorstep.
Mask and you have said no.
It's not recording.
Oh, sorry. I got it though, just in case, just for backup. All right, so you need to wear a mask. If you don't, you need to leave our store. I've asked you many times, politely. You need to leave our store.
So I have a medical exemption with the
Right, but I am told that nobody gets a medical exemption in our store. That is what I am told, and I am doing my job.
Alberta government offers an exemption for those who have a medical exemption.
Job very difficult.
Look, if I wore a mask, you wouldn't see my trashy face.
Huh?
I'm a 17-year-old girl. I'm a 17-year-old girl, and I'm asking you, a grown woman, to wear a mask. Put it on or leave.
That was great.
Are you my doctor?
No, but I'm telling you to put it on or leave.
Onision walks in. Ma'am?
Wow.
Can I?
Medical exemption.
Medical exemption.
I've had people tell me that they were medically exempt from wearing a mask and getting in my Uber. It was just like, oh, I don't have to wear a mask. I got a medical exemption.
You're like,
I'm cool. I'm just gonna cancel and let you just get another Uber.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm medically exempt from driving you around them.
Yeah. Can you cancel no problem with that and say refuse to wear a mask and they'll...
Yeah, you have to wear a mask with Uber now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Put it on or leave.
No.
Then you need to go.
No.
We're on the phone with the cops right now, and we will wait for them to
know that you are discriminating against me because
I am not discriminating against you, miss.
Yes, you are.
I'm asking you to do
I have a
something
disability,
politely.
and I
I'm sorry. I am told by my boss not to let you shop here if you don't wear a mask. I'm told by these rules.
So can I see a copy of your policy then, please?
I don't have it with me, miss.
I would like
if
to
you
see
would
a
like to
copy
come
of your
back tomorrow. And
Yeah.
Wow. Has this ever worked? Is there one scenario in America where somebody
This was in
did
Canada,
this
by the way. I want to point out this was in
Oh.
Canada.
Yeah, Americans don't act this way.
Yeah, Americans do too.
This
though.
the sleazy
Yeah,
Canadians.
we're way more classy than that, right?
Yeah.
Actually, she was more polite about it than most American anti-maskers.
I like the way she said, ma'am, I'm a 17-year-old and you're an adult and you're not acting like it.
Yep. I do. I
Stuffed.
like that.
I had...
But has this ever, but this is what I'm saying. Has this ever worked? Because I see people try this all the time. And just by law of averages, the only reason they would keep doing this is if it worked once, right?
Oh, it has.
So this,
it works.
This
it
has
works.
had to have worked at some point.
Yeah, it works. I had a guy in Winco, and he had a freaking like a tag on his neck that said he was medically exempt. And I'm like, man, that's more work than putting a mask on, dude. You got to carry around this stupid tag. You look like you're like on a field trip or something, and you're not allowed out alone without your parents. This is like 40-something, 50-something, 60-something-year-old man. I don't know exactly how old he was. You never know these days. Look like an old white man, a little out of shape. And I'm like, Papa, like he was fighting with the girl at the counter. And I'm like, this is so embarrassing. Like, why not just put a mask on? What is this really your freedom? This is your freedom? I have another, a friend of mine who I always see at the grocery store almost at closing time, almost at 1 a.m. consistently because he shops late at night. He never wears a mask. And I see him and nobody ever says anything to him. He'll sit there and have a conversation with one of the coworkers in the aisle just chopping it up. And they don't say anything to him because he's complained to corporate at multiple places, and they give him like $250 gift cards. They're like, "Sorry, sir, sorry," and he's like, he gets paid out for it.
Wow.
As we go through watching this scam impeachment trial, where you know what really is on trial, everyone.
I think she's talking about the last impeachment. I think that's what.
It's freedom of speech.
I wonder if we're going to see her QAnon break free book, how she broke free from being brainwashed by QAnon, because she 100% is brainwashed.
Or she's in on, like, she's perpetuating it because she knows other people are brainwashed.
Possibly.
It's one or the
They
other.
don't want you to have free speech. They don't want President Trump to have free speech. You see, President Trump did nothing wrong. He said nothing wrong. All he did was encourage his supporters who had come from all over the country to see him.
Okay, no. So yeah, this is recent.
To peacefully and patriotically march to the Capitol and make your voices heard. There's nothing wrong with that statement. He incited no violence. The liars will never stop lying, and they will never stop attacking. And so we will pray for him. We will support him and just lift him up in our prayers throughout this week while they.
She's just awful.
They voted for her here in Georgia. Okay, they elected. It was like, yeah, she put her in office. They did that. Like a bunch of people came out and voted for this shit. It's amazing.
Yeah, but as we know, Georgia also got all their votes for Trump stolen, so it's only fair that we get this peach if they're going to freeze Trump's peach.
Try to impeach a president that's no longer a president. You can't impeach somebody after they're not president anymore. Now he's a private citizen.
Not with presidents, but other people in elected office.
But that's what they're going to
She
do
almost
anyway.
lost the election. It was very close. She ran unopposed. So
really?
Oh,
did she really run unopposed?
That's what somebody in chat said. So
no, that actually makes sense. That part of that, there are a lot of areas of Georgia where Democrats is like, yeah, it doesn't even make sense to run there because you have like no chance whatsoever. These are like areas that are like Sinclair News Group, Rush Limbaugh on the radio, Fox News, Newsmax, OAN, Real Clear Politics. Like they're very clear about who they are, what they stand for. So I'm not surprised. And honestly, I don't care. It doesn't bother me it doesn't bother me as much that Marjorie Taylor Greene is a member of Congress because she does represent a group of a chunk of the American public, and she should represent. I mean, we should have a certain amount.
So
of
he unofficially withdrew, is what they're saying.
Okay.
So him withdrawing would have meant she was technically
What does that mean?
he withdrew. So
what does it mean? He unofficially.
He never took himself off the ticket, so people could still vote, but he had withdrawn.
He probably wouldn't have won anyway.
Yeah, there are, like I said, large chunks of Georgia. Like, the further you get away from Atlanta, Augusta, Macon, and Savannah, it gets, like, staunchly conservative.
Still, she beat some other Republican in the primary.
Yeah, because she is a blonde woman whose initials spell out MTG, the favorite card game of all geeks across the world.
Because they'll never stop. They just will never stop. But here's what's going to happen. Their plans are going to fail. Absolutely going to fall straight on their face. But the reality is still there. Freedom of speech is the one thing they're coming after. And why is that? It's our First Amendment. Why do you think our founding fathers...
They're coming after it because it's the First Amendment?
...made freedom of speech...
So if the First Amendment,
they put it,
free the slaves, they would be like, oh, they're coming after the First Amendment.
The First Amendment does not protect incitement. There's limitations to freedom of speech that are not protected by the First Amendment.
In the Simp Constitution, they're actually writing up the Thirst Amendment.
The Thirst Amendment.
Yeah. You're going to be able to publicly simp, and nobody can deny you your right to simp.
Yeah.
Not even the woman herself, as long as it's simping and not toxic masculinity.
Simping ain't easy.
But a show is fun.
First, because it's that important. If you can't speak your mind, your thoughts, your beliefs, your values, to even discuss problems, to ask questions, maybe questions about things that aren't true, like I did. I posted a lot of questions and talked about things. Some of them were very true. Some of them turned out to not be true, and I'm okay with that. But they don't want you to have your freedom of speech. They want to cancel you out because it's your speech that's the greatest threat to them, just like my speech is the greatest threat to them, just like President Trump's speech is the greatest threat to them. That is what is on trial this week in the Senate.
Yeah, the lies leading people to create public destruction is pretty bad, and that's probably why the free speech is in check. Being able to lie through your fucking teeth, not good.
Maybe she's hoping to run for president someday.
Do you think she believes? Do you think she believes what she's selling? Like, do you think at this juncture of her career, do you think that she believes that the Jewish lasers are causing wildfires and the conspiracy theories? How much of that do you think that she believes?
I think
it's hard to say.
This is the question I asked about Donald Trump. Do you think that do you think he's crazy? Like, does he believe his lies? I mean, does he genuinely believe the things that he says, or does he know that he's full of crap? Like, I'm wondering that about Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah. Whether they believe it or not, it's still dangerous. So
I think Trump probably did believe. I think he made sure and built a wall of yes men around him to give him the best possible idea to make himself look like the good guy. I feel like that's the type of guy he is, based off everything they say about him, which could be a picture painted completely wrong. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think she believes. I think she's in that derangement mode, that QAnon derangement delusion mode that the woman earlier talked about having to go to therapy to get out of. And I think that part of this stimulus package should give health care to people who are QAnon.
Mental health care.
Mental health care to the QAnon associates. And Antifa, too. Both sides should get health care.
I just wanted to promo this poll again. It's for all of our patrons, $5 and above. And by the way, this poll is going to remain open, so if you're not watching this live, you can still vote on it. It's for all of our patrons, $5 or more. We want to let you guys decide what we're going to do for our private show on Friday, February 19th. So we've still got a week. We're going to unveil the results of this poll on Saturday.
Yeah, it should finish up Saturday night, so we'll get those people live Saturday that maybe didn't have a chance to vote before, and we'll make sure we know the results Saturday night.
It's very close. There's some people that want the film festival, which is a concept where the fans send us their kind of like weird. We had like kind of weird artsy kind of like short films almost.
Yeah,
a lot of
shorts.
them. Yeah,
fun, interesting, weird, creepy shorts.
Yeah,
very, very good stuff. We had a lot of fun with that.
And I guess it's the third one. I couldn't remember what it was before.
Yeah.
And then there's the Onision documentary series. People want to see that, I guess. And then Cutting the Fat Friendly Fire didn't really do that well.
It did really well.
But someone had to be at the bottom.
It did really well. We're proud of you, Cutting the Fat Friendly Fire. We're proud of you.
Cutting the Fat Friendly Fire, would that be the Chipotle of this situation?
Yes.
What, you mean the best?
Onision is the
terribly
other two.
underappreciated. Yeah, I'd say it seems to be Chipotle around here. Terribly underappreciated. I'm the only one putting their money where their mouth is. I don't see Ben drinking a Qdoba. I don't see Ben sipping on a Qdoba.
I don't.
All right, I see you.
I don't eat out, and when I do, I don't eat like
anybody you know.
That kind of stuff.
Sorry, I couldn't.
Quit
I couldn't help
smacking
myself.
your lips. God, do you need a bib too?
A
While
lot
you're
of
at
people pay premium for lip smacks. You know.
Okay.
A lot of people will
Have
give
fun with that.
Give big bucks for lip
GP,
smacks.
the ASMR channel now, huh?
Yes, they love the lip smacks.
In fact, a catastrophe.
This is from Newsmax.
For Christianity.
Well, I have to laugh. President Trump was the best thing to happen to the Christian church in America since maybe Jesus. So, yeah, that's ridiculous. I read the article.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She said it. She said it. Oh my God. The best thing to happen to the Christian church since maybe Jesus. There you go. Somebody put her to sleep. She can't be awake no more. She's done.
Yeah.
Bedtime. Bye-bye.
Yeah. No.
Bye-bye.
Her forehead is glorious, by the way. I just want to say that. There's nothing inappropriate about that statement, okay? Her forehead is
Well,
glorious.
I thought if it weren't, I don't know. I didn't know if he actually believed the things he was saying, but he is not in touch with what the evangelical church thinks at all.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, that's that. Yeah, the Christians that like super support Trump and think that he's the like the first true Christian president. Those they are amazing. I'm like, you just choose to believe whatever you want to believe. I mean, yeah, okay, I got you.
Here's another Newsmax clip. I'm just getting it really quick that I thought was funny. Because they try so hard to toe this line where they're like, they're really, really right wing. They're pro Trump. But they had the My Pillow guy on there, and a lot of these A lot of these stations, these far right-wing stations, are getting sued by these voting machine companies. So now they really want to avoid even talking about the voter fraud or anything like that. So
can I ask our producers, can we get out of here, please? I don't want to have to keep going over this.
Actually,
we at Newsmax have not been able to verify any of those allegations that you're
Mike, hold on a second. Everybody hold on a second. Mike, hold on 1 second. Let's talk a little bit about just what is happening overall.
Newsmax brought on MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell to discuss his recent suspension from Twitter. But he instead launched into a rant about election fraud allegations live on air. The viral clip shows anchor Bob Sellers trying multiple times to stop Lindell from discussing his baseless claims.
We at Newsmax have not been able to verify any of those kinds of allegations. We just want to let people know that there's nothing substantive that we've seen. We wanted to talk to you about
This is Newsmax saying this.
Culture, if you will.
They don't want to get sued. They're all getting sued. And even if they win the lawsuit, lawsuits are expensive. So...
Yeah,
It's
Newsmax.
not good.
Newsmax is like even Newsmax, who is loving being the opposite of all this, can't even go there. They can't even go there.
Yeah,
That's crazy. And our boy Mike Lindell is like, guys, it's okay to lie all the time.
I feel like the pending. Oh, they're trying to get ahead of it. Be like, oh, we looked at his show and we realized blah blah, so we got rid of him. They can't say that they publicly got rid of him for that. But a lot of people believe they're getting rid of him specifically because of how often he talked about Smartmatic and Dominion.
Dominion, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, we use Smartmatic to do the voting for the Hannibal Monty's 3rd annual Golden Turtle Awards, and
it worked out fine.
Everything worked out fine.
Do you know
what I'm saying?
do you know what-
Hugo Chavez won a bunch of awards.
Do you know what rhymes with Lou Dobbs?
I don't want to know.
Goo Dobbs.
We litigate the
You know what rhymes with Snoop?
allegations that you're
You know what rhymes with Snoop? Dr. Dre. You like my jokes, guys? I'll be here all night.
making, Mike, because we understand where you are.
No, Bill, I thought you were going to read it.
Stunned viewers took to social media to praise Sellers for leaving the bizarre interview.
I'm shockingly impressed by Newsmax and the way the anchors handled the my treasonous pillow guy. Damn, never did I think I'd be so proud of Newsmax within my lifetime.
He should change the name to My Treasonous Pillow. I like that.
Dude in the middle wants to keep feeding his family.
Dude in the center literally leaving the shot to get his resume out the printer tray, though. Oh my God, this is priceless. I love how one of the anchors just gets up and goes, leaving his colleague to fix the mess.
Can I just tell you, as someone who went to school for journalism, I hate that the news can be them reading tweets to us.
Yes.
Donald Trump kind of set that precedent.
I'm not talking about like presidential tweets or like government tweets and stuff like that. But like if they can get a dozen people who feel anything about a situation, they'll be like, oh, and Twitter is on a rage. Like people on Twitter are upset about goldfish crackers, and then they find 12 people talking reckless about goldfish crackers, and that becomes the news. That's not news.
We prefer the term cracker.
Being somebody,
yeah, right, Hannibal.
Being
Don't
somebody,
be so racist, man.
Being somebody who went to school for avoiding truancy violations, I'm actually kind of proud that some people get their news from me.
Yeah, you are like their Ted Koppel.
I'm the Drunken Peasants Ted Koppel.
Yeah.
Me and Benjamin Pye. Who would you compare to?
I'm Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite?
Cronkite. I like that.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
I picture a big kite that looks like a big nug flying around in the sky.
I'm Ted Copsum. Ted Copsum? Ted Copperfield?
No.
David Copperfield?
Yeah, you don't want to be that, Billy. That could get you canceled.
Wait, are we not? Is David Copperfield canceled? I don't know about that one.
Yeah, dude.
David Copperfield would be.
No, did you not? Did you not see somebody try to cancel David Copperfield at the beginning of the Me Too?
At one point, yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
I think he actually was like. I think he actually went to court over being accused of some stuff at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he didn't serve any time. He wasn't convicted of anything.
Has anybody tried to accuse Al Roker?
No.
Man, Al Roker don't need that mess.
Yeah, Al Roker's life is messed up as it is.
I hope Al Roker never did anything wrong.
It's crazy how he got all thin and started like dressing like he was a lot younger than he actually is. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, what's he? I don't even know what he dresses
gross
like.
Is the answer you were looking for. It's gross.
It's crazy. I wonder if he got the skin surgery. He was pretty big, right?
Yeah, he was thick boy.
Yeah, he was really big.
Yeah.
I always wondered that about Al
Yeah,
Sharpton too, because he used to be all super big, and he got really.
It's
skinny.
weird, like when people get like super big and then their heads get big too, and then they lose all the.
It is like it just comes out of nowhere for no apparent reason. You know,
It was when Robin got on the show.
Thing to do.
Whatever just happened stays in Vegas. Okay.
Okay. Are we? Do you see? Yes, we're up. All right. We're up now.
Excellent.
Hopefully things are okay now, but I guess we'll see.
Everybody, again, like this stream, get some engagement going for us so we can get the numbers back up. Let everybody know we're still alive. Every time you like the stream, the algorithm promotes it higher to people who have liked the stream in the past, and it helps get visualization. That might actually be a lie.
So if this happens again, I'm probably going to just reset my network here, but we'll see. I mean, we didn't really have a lot of time left anyway.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to do a post show or anything like that.
Hi, DJ Fixo.
I think we'll do like our Twitch post show after the next show. And then we'll have to figure out when we're going to do this movie review, but we've got time on that. I don't know. I thought
We'll have to figure out what movie we're going to watch.
Yeah. Send suggestions to us. The best way to do that is through Discord. There's even like a suggestion area where you can suggest things, like pretty much anything.
For those of you with a $10 Patreon subscription or above, you can watch the movie review. The last one we did, which we watched a fan remake of RoboCop. It was probably the most fun, enjoyable experience I've had in the movie reviews settings. It was some stuff was just ridiculous.
And you can go back and watch that too, by the way. If you become a patron, $10 or above, you can go back and watch that.
Yeah, you get to watch that. You get to watch the other movie reviews, and you get to watch the $5 or above patron levels for our bonus shows and all the other good stuff we offer in video format.
I have a suggestion for a movie for you guys to watch. It is called 3 Dev Adam. It is available to watch.
Watch 3 Dev Adam.
Yeah, 3 Dev Adam, aka 3 Giant Men, aka Turkish Spider-Man. It is free to watch on YouTube. It is amazing and terrible.
I'll check it out because I'll take any suggestion.
Look, 3 Dev Adam. Okay, it is.
I'll try to remember that name.
I'm gonna put it in the chat. There you go. I put it in the Skype call so you can. It's free on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay.
Please watch that.
Sure.
Movie. Look, no spoilers, but like the movie opens with Spider-Man, killing a woman, by running her face into a motorboat.
Yes.
On the beach.
There's
like
McDowell.
nothing about it makes any sense.
There we go.
Gonna watch that
Spider-Man.
RoboCop probably.
Yeah.
So 3 Dev Adam.
Yeah, we should do it.
We might have to do that, Papa.
Yeah. And then a lot of people, Billy, are requesting an Egghead family movie marathon.
Nope.
Where we watch all of the Justice
Not
League
doing
movies
it.
from beginning
I've
to
watched
end.
my last Egghead movie last time. There's not only am I not gonna watch it, I am going to not watch it out of protest because Egghead left us high and dry at Actual Mania for his mental health. So I'm not gonna. I protest. I won't watch it.
Frames again. I think we're gonna wrap this up. Because I don't know. I'm
good.
Like, we're back.
So
we're back. I don't know what the problem is. I don't. Let's see. We're still going. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why this is happening. I'm going to have to work to resolve it. So we're probably going to end the stream really soon. We do want to read the Streamlabs and end the show. If it happens again, we're just going to, like, if it just keeps happening, we're going to have to go, and I'm going to have to work to resolve the problem here.
I'll finish the Streamlabs.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it was literally just Deed Good.
I just put mine on 1080p and it dropped immediately.